welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina Lloyd, obviously, and I am having issues after COVID. Although, to be honest, I don't even know if I'm actually out of the woods yet with COVID or not, but it has been a rough ride with it thus far. Now, this would be like day 16 if I still have it or not, but I don't know because I'm dealing with stuff that I would normally deal with anyways, but are still like COVID symptoms. So that's the confusing part about this, right? Like I have to get another PCR test to confirm if I have COVID yet, like still or not. But of course, closest place to do that is still again an hour drive, and I don't even know if I could drive an hour right now. To be honest, I'm not sure because I couldn't stand for half an hour earlier, so I don't know. That's the confusing part, right? And I wish I had answers, but I don't. So yeah, as you can tell, my hair's a bit of a mess, but I don't really care today. Um, haven't cared for any of these live streams lately about how I've looked overall. But yeah, I hope you all are doing fantastic. Um, I do actually have a video that is going to upload tonight. First video in a while. That's like a proper video, although the camera angles aren't great, whatever else. I'm not used to using my old tripod again, but it's fine. I don't care that some of it isn't as good as it could be, but it is what it is, right? So I am going to be, yeah, so I tried to work on the Civic today, which is, the 78 Civic, Papa Smurf, that's outside. And unfortunately, I came across, well, fatigue. And it just wasn't good, you know? Because trying to work on a car, and I wasn't doing any heavy stuff at all. Like, in fact, I wasn't really working on it because I was just figuring stuff out as I was filming, sort of idea of what exactly I wanted to do. And then I did some stuff off camera as well. But yeah, basically, it's just going to be of what is going to come next on the Civic and what's going to happen, and showing you guys that sort of stuff, right? So I can't wait for that to happen, but right now I'm just not in the best way at the moment, unfortunately. So yeah, like I can still function and whatever else right now, but doing any of the regular stuff that I would like to do, I can't. And like, and I want to go on trips and stuff like that right now because weather is fantastic. But again, post COVID issues, I don't know if I'll be able to. So like, yeah, that's what I'm struggling with right now. Um, and there's still stuff that I need to do on Stitch too, technically. But I wanted to get started on the Civic, at least get the thing running. Get the brakes at least somewhat functional. They might not be great, but get it so they can run and stop and just drive it around the block, sort of thing. Um, and that's what I was aiming for. But sadly, it's one of those deals. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now, unfortunately. And actually, I want to do something really quick. Like Pooter, that's in front of me. So yeah, currently I have, well, it's showing one viewer with one like, and I definitely appreciate you being here. I saw three, but yeah, it's not showing up anymore. Um, yeah, I'm curious of who's watching. If you want to say, cool. If not, no worries. You know, I've done quite a few of these live streams in the past, and I just do them at random times. To be honest, I never prompt them. And I should, to be honest, but it's one of those deals where you know what, it works, and that's the thing. Oh well, hey, no worries. I definitely appreciate you being here, Mike. Actually, I don't know. Have I seen you in the lives before? It's been a bit. since I've done one of these and I can't remember. So apologies if you have been here before. Um, okay, that's fair. Fair enough. Yeah, because actually I want to monetize this as I'm doing it. So details, playlist, where is it? My videos, done. Um, yeah. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Now, and actually, I need to go back. There we go. That's where it is. Perfect. Should be. There we go. Good. So yeah, and actually, because the other day, well, and I definitely appreciate you being here actually and watching my videos and all that stuff. Um, like last night, I decided I was hungry. I wanted to get some food. You know, I didn't really feel like cooking, and just went to just went to go get McDonald's. That's all it was. Just a drive-through, right? And the car, because I haven't started the car in close to a month, because again, it's been cold and also COVID. So yeah, um, the idle it had just. I love when the car is like super cold and hasn't been started in a while because it's got like this. It sounds like a cammed big block, but you know, and I did a couple of videos on here actually on that and showing the differences in sound between this one and my old one. And yeah, to be honest, like it almost seems like the bulk of the population might actually get COVID now at this point. I know people have gotten it multiple times, and like there is, it's interesting because there's so much misinformation out there about COVID. I see it all the time, and you know, and like somebody who's had it, I can tell you that it feels like at least what I went through. It feels like a one of the worst colds you've ever had. Nausea, massive headaches. I didn't lose sense of taste, but I lost sense of smell. I couldn't really smell anything. Um, and yeah, just like not really being able to eat hardly at all. You know, it was not great. Oh, there we go. Okay, you're in Penticton. I know where that is. Yeah, and it is this new variant Omicron is spreading like wildfire. You know, like I'm not sure like if I was the original one that contracted it or if I got it from my cousin because saw her on Christmas and then a couple days later I just got sick. And she tested positive for COVID the same night that I did my rapid test. So yeah, it took a bit to try and find a PCR test actually, but I finally, you know, was able to get one. I just had to travel a freaking hour to go do it, and luckily, I wasn't driving. My dad was driving, so that was nice. And he hasn't gotten COVID yet, so that's been nice. Honestly, he just got his third vaccine, so I'm only double vaxxed currently, which I was gonna get the third vaccine, then I got sick. That's exactly how that went down. So, you know, it's all fine there. But yeah, you know, and there's other stuff that I could do. Oh, exactly. Like to be honest, I really do encourage people to get the vaccine because there's people out there like me, and who knows, like because I deal with a bunch of health issues all the time. I really do, and unfortunately, it's just one of those things where getting COVID for me, I could have ended up in the ICU, been on a breather, and my lungs could have collapsed. To be honest, very very easily. So getting that vaccine, getting the two doses, made it so that I didn't have to go to the hospital for it. I'm still dealing with actually. It comes and goes. Like there's a pain in my chest and little more difficulties breathing as well. Um, filming my stuff earlier, it was just getting really tired, and then breathing was a lot quicker because of that, right? Just of that fatigue. So I didn't have the pain in my chest, but I'm starting to get it now. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah, exactly. Like, and that's the way it should be. Like, everybody should get it because the risks of getting it, like getting the vaccines, are so minimal. I had a side effect. Yes, I did. Um, the first time I got it, I got really nauseated and I just felt like crap for about an hour. I After the hour of sitting in the pharmacy, after I got it, I just got some food and then fell asleep, and then I was fine. Had a pain in my arm for like 4 days, and that was fine. Right. The second one was a lot better. Um, for that, so you know, it's one of those things. Like, because for me, I truly think that anybody that doesn't get the vaccine right now, you're putting people's lives in danger, including your own. Because most people, yes, will not have too many issues, but we don't know the long term effects of having COVID. We don't. No, actually, the thing is, that is actually misinformation right there. And that's the problem. There's so much misinformation about COVID. Because the thing is, the vaccine makes it so that you're less likely to be hospitalized. There's still people that are going to be hospitalized from the vaccine, like after getting the vaccine and getting COVID. Yes, of course. But, and there's always going to be those people that have adverse side effects to vaccines. That's a given. But that's such a minute number. However, the death toll has actually gone down since the vaccines were released. Now, with the new Omicron variant, the infection rate has had an uptick. Absolutely. There was over 1 million people that are currently have COVID in the States right now. But at least, and this Omicron variant is a lot more contagious, but it does not have the deadly qualities of some of the other variants before it. So there is that. At least that's what they found so far. So that's why I'm not like totally screwed. That way. Like, and I've been lucky up to this point. Like, because yes, I got COVID, whatever else, but I was in such big events and stuff like that during the summertime. A couple of them, to be honest. Like, most it was car shows outside, and I didn't get it then. But yeah, I definitely got it. And like I said, if I didn't have those vaccines, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd probably still be on a breather in the ICU. Just about guaranteed. And being able to barely function, because likely my lungs would have collapsed. Because I am asthmatic. And I have some other adverse health issues that make it so that diseases like this are really bad. So, yeah. And the thing is, and it's so funny that there's so many people that are just so worried about getting the vaccine. And the thing is, there isn't really a danger to it. Yes, there's still going to be those, like I mentioned, those people that have adverse reactions to it. Of course. There's always those people in every group. But, it's just just one of those deals. And yeah. And that's why seeing the misinformation, it drives me nuts. And people need to do their research properly. Because they haven't done it. But, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I mean, and if you want to talk weather, because I know you're just trying to get out the subject, but it's fine. Well, here today, it was 8 degrees. But That's the thing in Alberta. We get Chinooks, and basically, what a Chinook is, it's a warm wind. It's a wind. It starts out cold, but then the barometric pressure of it coming over the mountains and coming down makes it really warm, and it's nice. You know, the roads have like nothing on them at the moment. They're just wet. A little bit of slush here and there, but basically, majority of the snow from this is going to be melted. Here's the thing. They weren't able, like, they tried to make one then, but they couldn't. And the thing is, this is an evolution of that virus. And the thing is, they've been working on this vaccine since SARS back then, right? And like, because the thing is, a lot of the diseases that have come out actually during the past, close to 20 years now, have actually been related to SARS. Like the bird flu, swine flu, are just a couple. And then now we have COVID, right? But they all can trace their origins back to SARS. And the thing is, they've been working on that vaccine for close to 20 years. So, and they finally cracked the code after COVID came out. So that's why, right? Because sometimes vaccines can come out very quickly. This vaccine, although yes, came out quickly for sorry, my brain's not working. This damn fatigue is screwing with my head too. Yeah, it's one of those deals where the thing is, viruses mutate all the time. It's no different than the flu and the cold. Like, that's why, every year people get flu vaccines, but yet flu still stays prevalent because it's mutating all the time. It's no different than this COVID, which has mutated quite a number of times now, actually. And, and of course, like I said, and its base genes can go back to SARS. Now, is it a man-made virus? I doubt it. Like, to be honest, there's not a lot of man-made viruses that way. That's just this whole conspiracy thing, and like, it drives me nuts. Like, that people think that way, you know? And yeah, because I know people in the medical field that I've talked to about this stuff, and they've told me what I'm telling you now. So yeah, I know actually quite a few people in the medical field at this point. And, know a few ER nurses, know a few home care nurses, and I actually know a couple of doctors. So it's just one of those deals where I really wish people would do the research properly, and they haven't. They've just been relying on, the one-sided, sort of the. You can almost say it's like the conservative side, because it seems like a lot of the conservative people are like that, right? The thing is, okay, you saying that though, here's the thing. Diseases can come out actually, and oddly enough, most of the time, diseases come out of high population areas. And why? Because again, it's a high population area that can happen. Because there's the thing: there's over 1 billion people in China, right? Um, and when people get sick, their stuff mutates just inside them, right? Then it gets passed on to somebody else, and that mutates, and then that mutates, and on and on and on. That's how viruses work. Because if it was just one sort of strain that way, it's not really a big deal, And it's like, and it's so funny with the whole COVID vaccine thing, because nobody has an issue going to get their hepatitis vaccines when they go abroad. They go to Brazil or something like that. people get it before they travel, and it's fine. But for some reason, because of misinformation, actually, is that people will refuse to get the COVID vaccine. And the thing is, we've gotten, and considering you're Canadian, so you would have gotten all the vaccines that I did from schooling. Like, yes, you went through school a lot earlier than I did, but the vaccines are still the same. Back, back then, because I can look at my dad's records, and again, his records are the same as mine when it comes to that stuff. So, yeah, and they were mandatory in school. And nobody really had a problem getting vaccines in school. So why is it that now that we are adults and that we're trying to actually save people, that it is the people just won't do it? I don't understand that. Yeah, well, those vaccines that you got then could have potentially saved your life. Because, like with the polio vaccine, which we all got, the thing is, polio was an awful, awful disease. It basically would shut your body down, and you had to be put into what was called an iron lung so that you could breathe. Because a regular mask wouldn't do it for you. And it's just an awful thing. There is currently one person that we know of, at least on the planet, that has it. And he still has to use the iron lung. But he is the last one to have it. And the thing is, he has to spend, I think it's like 8 hours a day inside this iron lung. Like, we're lucky right now of the vaccines that we have. Because we could easily be in that person's shoes, right? And have our lives totally screwed up and not able to do what we want ever. And it's not. The thing is, though, but now that we have the vaccine for that, we won't attract it. At least on that one, because obviously, because the polio vaccine is a one-time only vaccine compared to the COVID vaccine, which you get boosters. It's similar to the flu shot in that regard, but it's not a flu shot, And yeah, it's just one of those deals. Like, just because it's harder to get stuff. Although the thing is, polio back in the day was actually quite prevalent. Now, it's not as prevalent now because, again, we have the vaccines, but also we take food prep much more carefully, right? In everywhere. So yeah, and that's why so many times that it used to be not exactly common, but a little more common that you'd get sick after going to a restaurant or something like that because, again, they did not prep their food properly, they did not wash their hands, all this different stuff. So yeah, and this is one of those things that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that anybody can think that way about any fucking disease. And normally I wouldn't really talk about that as much. I in videos would say at the end of them, stay safe during COVID-19, good luck with whatever you're working on, and I'll see you in the next video. That's how I end most of my videos. And but I've never really talked in depth about COVID until I got it, right? And trust me, it was not great at all. I am just glad that my grandma didn't get it, and nor did my uncle who has cancer. Because if he got it, oh fuck. That would have been a fucking disaster. So get your goddamn vaccine. Like, seriously. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's ridiculous that I have to have these conversations with grown men. Or grown anybody, for that matter. Because yeah, and it is frustrating, you know. Like people can have their opinion, that's fine, to a certain extent, but when your opinion has misinformation in it, well, that's where it goes awry, right? And that's the problem. There's so much misinformation everywhere about it, you know. And I didn't want to do a COVID fucking one today, but that's what happened, right? I was just gonna talk about, what happened with me, which I did earlier in the video, of just what I'm dealing with post COVID, and then go into other stuff. But now we're here. And it's one of those things. And actually, to be honest, COVID is very prevalent right now. So, to be honest, it probably helps the algorithm a little bit. I have 4 viewers right now. And sometimes I have less than that. Sometimes I have more. It just depends. So, yeah, it's just one of those deals. Like, yeah. Fuck. See, I normally don't swear very much on my YouTube channel, but I've done a few times this one. So, sorry, kiddos, if any child is watching. Get a little worked up at times. But I hope you're all doing fantastic. I know that for the most part I am. It's just been a rough go for the past couple of weeks here, but slowly getting better. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 85-ish% sure that I am that I don't have COVID anymore. But I don't know for sure. Because, again, I'm still having some mild symptoms, but I think, to be honest, for the most part, it could be my own stuff, because I deal with this shit all the time, too. So, I don't know. But, yeah. So, that's basically where I'm at the moment. And, yeah, and yesterday was the first time I left my house since Boxing Day. It's not necessarily that people are paranoid, they're being safe. Okay, now I'm curious, Fred. How do you have a natural immunity to it? Because, like, getting COVID gives you somewhat of a natural immunity. But the only people who have a proper natural immunity, actually, are ones who actually either contracted SARS, swine flu, or bird flu, like a proper one. So, yeah, and let's see. Reading Doug's comment here. I'm assuming you meant to say 04 Taurus, is my guess. And the heat is stuck on defrost. That blows. Oh, see, Fred, that's not exactly how it works with COVID. Because what they've learned so far is when you contract COVID, which it's unfortunately you contracted COVID so early, but people that only have a natural immunity for a few months. Because the thing is, the virus keeps mutating, right? So, yeah, because like what they've found so far with advanced studies with this Omicron variant, that yeah, you have it for about 6 months, and then you're kind of SOL that way. Like, unfortunately that's not how it works. Not with this one. Like I said, if you had SARS back in the day, bird flu or swine flu, because they're all a related one, actually you could, what they found, because they're all, again, related, you could actually have a natural immunity to COVID. It's not guaranteed, though. Like, even with me that just went through COVID, I I'm probably still going to get my third vaccine, although I am going to contact my doctor on it and ask what her opinion is. And it probably won't be for a month or two, just to confirm when it's completely out of my system. But okay, so you did contract SARS. So you might be one of the very few people um that might actually have a proper natural immunity that way, but not from contracting COVID. Although it's kind of interesting that you had SARS, but you still contracted COVID, so that's interesting. Yeah, like, and that's the thing though too. It's it's one of those things, and you know, and COVID, what they've learned so far, we're probably going to be in this for another about 2 years before we're finally out of it, and COVID it won't be a prevalent part of our lives, but it might still be around. But it's kind of like swine flu or bird flu. You still hear about a couple of cases here and there, but it's nothing severe like COVID is. So yeah, it's one of those things. That's true, actually. There are people out there that can get COVID and not realize it. Like at the beginning of the pandemic, like before we knew what we know now, there was a lot of people that had it and had no idea because they just thought they were sick, right? Because it does feel similar to a really bad cold. Um, but and you have some other stuff like you lose sense of taste and stuff like that, which you don't typically do when you're sick. So yeah, and losing sense of smell again, you typically don't have that happen when you're sick. So yeah, asymptomatic, exactly. And there are lots of people that have been asymptomatic with COVID. They have no idea, and all they're doing is spreading it to a bunch of people, and that's how outbreaks start, right? Is and that's why, like, I've I could have left my house so many times during when I had COVID, but I didn't want to spread it everywhere. Like, and the thing is, and that's the worrisome thing about my dad. Like, he's been doing rapid tests, and all of them will come back negative whenever he goes to work. But I worry though that if there is an outbreak at his work, that it came from me. So yeah, and it just like passed on to him. He's asymptomatic, and then goes. So I don't know. It's just one of those deals, right? That see, the interesting part is I haven't stopped handshakes as much, like car deals. I was still shaking hands throughout COVID, to be honest. Um, and which wasn't the smartest thing for me to do, you know, and I know that. But it's kind of one of those deals with the art of a deal. It's just natural to shake somebody's hand, right? And yeah, like, and I have a better immune system than most. I know that. That started when I was young, because to be honest, I got exposed to a bunch of shit when I was young. Of like growing up, one of the actually a couple of the bathrooms had black mold in them, and there was like embedded into stuff that we couldn't actually get out without just like tearing the bathroom apart. So I think that's why I don't really get sick that often. I get sick like once every 2 or 3 years because of that. Um, and also now with working on cars and stuff like that too, I have a better immune system just from that. And even driving my old car, because I don't have there's no such thing as a cabin air filter back in '81, at least for Ford. There may have been cabin air filters in like really expensive stuff, but not on a Mustang. Um, See, and that's the interesting part. I didn't get very many, like, I didn't get flus or colds hardly at all. Like, anytime I get sick, it's a cold that kicks my ass pretty bad. Now, not as bad as what COVID did, but yeah. See, I haven't had a flu in a very long time. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I had a flu. Because whenever I get sick, it's the cold. Every time. But it's just one of those deals. I may have scared off my viewers with talking about COVID, but that's fine. There's going to be that, and it's disappointing, but it is what it is. And I understand there are as well just some people trying to avoid the topic altogether. Totally understandable. To be honest, I ignored it for a while, but yeah, we'll see. Like the thing is, excluding like last summer, I typically don't get out much. Like in years past. But now that, my car's on the road and stuff like that. But yeah. Hey, no worry, Fred. Definitely appreciate you coming on to the live stream, and I'll catch you later. Enjoy your show. Yeah, oh crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, God. Head's pounding. It's just it's been a rough go for a bit. And but hopefully soon, hopefully I don't have too much lingering effects from COVID and that I can be back to normal again. Because if this sort of thing continues, I'm not really going to be able to do much. Like working on cars won't really be a thing much anymore. And yeah, and actually I was only taking vitamin C when I had COVID, and actually I took a couple today as well. But for the most part, I don't. I don't really take much for vitamins, and because before as well, when I was having my adverse health issues, they didn't actually want me taking vitamins because it could screw up blood samples that they were taking at the time. So I might be able to take vitamins now because chemically I'm much better than I used to be. But for the most part, I don't. Like, it's only when I'm sick that I do. And even then, most times when I'm sick, I don't have to. So I got. But yeah, so hey, no worries. I'll catch you later. Peace. Uh oh god. Yeah. Starting to feel like crap again. But and I go through like very ups and downs right now too of like high energy, feeling great, and then very low energy and just getting really, really tired and fatigued. Which is normal actually with COVID. So, not terribly upset about it or anything like that. It's just a rough go of things. And it'll happen, right? And this could happen with any disease, and that could happen to anybody. Unfortunately. And I hope that anybody that contracts it doesn't have too many issues. Okay, I don't care about that stuff. But yeah. And, because even now, actually, unfortunately, like, a friend of mine, he just went to, actually, Niagara Falls, and he had a good time there, whatever else, and got back, and he has COVID. And unfortunately, he can't actually even be home right now. So he's actually at his girlfriend's place. Just so that he does not give COVID to the other people that live with him that happen to be firefighters. He's a firefighter as well, actually. So, yeah. It's just sad. Very sad. And yeah, because I don't know if I'm still sick or not. I don't really feel that way, but maybe I still am. I don't know. But yeah, like, cause trying to work on the Civic today, I didn't get anything done. Although I did find out a couple of things that is gonna get. So that'll be fine. Stuff that I'm gonna need to pick up, or just I might just order stuff online and get it delivered to my door. That'd be convenient. Might take a week, but oh well. Because right now on the 78 Civic, what needs to be done currently is I need to wire in the fuel pump, which I know how to do it. It won't be that hard. And I'm not going to have it on a switch like a lot of people do. And I don't understand why people do that. As opposed to just putting it to the positive side of the coil. And then I need to put a ground on it. And I was going to actually ground it like it was perfect. I didn't need to add any more wire to it. I could have just grounded it at the where the engine ground is, to the body. So it's like, that would have been perfect. It's right there. But unfortunately, well, that's not gonna happen. The eyelets that I have for the connections are too small for that specific hole. So I'll need to do something else. That's fine. And I realized I don't have any bolts to try and put stuff elsewhere. I also need to put a relay in, which I don't have very much room to put a relay. So unless if I move some stuff, like I might. Well, no, the problem is I can't move that because I can't move the fuel pump over because of, well, I already have the lines run and everything. If I didn't have that lines run, I could work it wherever. But and it's interesting because like the fuel is traveling farther than it used to, but it's actually traveling colder than it used to as well. So shouldn't have the issues of boiling the fuel at all. Because I know my Mustang has issues boiling the fuel when it gets really hot. Oh yeah, it'll boil the fuel. Although I'm not sure how that's going to be with the new carburetor on it. It might be a little different now, but yeah. And because all the fuel lines now are nowhere near the engine, excluding the one that goes obviously directly to the carburetor. Because there's two different fuel lines on it, right? And this fuel pump actually, I put it at the front bulkhead. I should be okay, Matthew. Like, the thing is, I'm currently dealing with post-COVID effects. Which that's been an issue. And basically, I am fatigued quite a lot, actually. And it is disappointing. I don't care about that. Yeah, why am I being tagged and stuff like that? It's just annoying. Sorry, I was looking at something else. But yeah, overall though, I should be okay. It's just gonna take a while for me to hopefully get back to where I was before. And that's and that's an issue right now because as well, like, I can't stand for super long periods. Like, I was standing for about half an hour and I was starting to just not be right. So I came back inside and sat down and it was all good. Because actually, if you watch the, you'll see actually kind of what happened. If you watch the new short video that I put up today, I'm like breathing really heavily, and it's like I just ran, like, just ran down the block type idea and came back, breathing that hard. And like the thing is, because with me being asthmatic and I'm not really in shape, to be honest, I've been meaning, like, I wanted to try and do workouts and stuff like that, but unfortunately, well, I've been sick, so I'm not exactly gonna work out when I'm sick. that just sounds like a bad idea. Mm. But yeah, so with any luck, you know, in the next few days, hopefully I don't have any more post symptoms, but who knows? This could be my life now. And if it is, well, I'm screwed for doing anything. Like, this YouTube will go down the toilet. And I'll have to figure out something else. So, yeah, and I don't want that to happen. You know, this YouTube has only been a dream for me actually since I started doing it. Because before that, I didn't have any desire to do YouTube as much. And now that I've grown this channel into what it is now with your love and support, obviously, I couldn't have done this without you guys. And yeah, it's been a rough go, like lately. But you know, my YouTube channel, I'm just so proud of what I've built in such a small amount of time too, because a lot of content creators are not able to do what I did in the amount of time that I did. Because when I put out my first, actually, I need to look from when I got monetized to when I sort of did regular uploads on the channel, like, I think it was just over a year. Because most people, when they do this, it takes them a very long time. Let's say, like, when I started doing regular uploads, yeah, so the one video, and this is like a video that actually got pretty big, actually. It still has quite a number of views. And I was still figuring stuff out, and this was when I was just, you know, sitting in my car and talking about stuff, and now it's evolved since then. But this video, A Little Problem in the Car Hobby, I posted February 28th, 2020. I got monetized in, I think it was October 2021. So, year and a half, essentially. Right? But, which is really awesome. I love that. And I love all of you as well that come out and support me. And especially during this whole bout with COVID, seeing your positive comments and reactions and stuff like that have been amazing. Because, yeah, it's a very... It was kind of lower points during COVID, I'm not going to lie. Because, you know, when you're not really able to function and stuff like that, you start to go down the rabbit hole and stuff like that. And I'm not going to lie, mentally, I was not great. I'm better now, but it's one of those deals. Okay, what's with these damn bots? Go away. There we go. But at this point, yeah, I'm just so damn fatigued. I'm going to end the video here, but I do appreciate everybody that's come out, and you know, and as well everybody who supported me during COVID, and everybody who supported me just in general. I definitely appreciate every single one of you. Hopefully, you know, hope you guys stay safe during this awful time of COVID-19. I definitely wish you luck on whatever you're working on, and well, pretty sure you guys know how to contact me at this point. So yeah. Anyways, I will chat at you all later. I love you all so much. Thank you. Goodbye.